Hey YouTube, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Foxtrottalks. I'm your host, Foxtrot, and today I have a very special episode for you. If you don't know, it's a very special country's birthday today. It's Canada's birthday. So I decided I would drop some super fun Canada facts on you for all of you who aren't in the know. So Canada was born way back on July 1st, 1867, when the Constitution Act was enacted. This makes Canada 149 years old today. So some famous Canadians that you might have heard of include Jim Carrey, Ryan Gosling, Sandra Oh, Fifi Dobson, and of course Justin Bieber. Now I know a lot of Canadians don't like that Justin Bieber came from Canada, but in my personal opinion, his last album made up for a lot of the things he's done in the past. So we're gonna give Justin a slide on this one. So there are also a few notable scientific Canadians I'd like to mention, including Frederick Banting, who was the first person to use insulin on humans, Alexander Graham Bell, who patented the first telephone, Maud Menton, who was a leading research in enzyme kinetics and histochemistry. You don't really need to know what that is, it's just science stuff. And last but not least, Irene Uchida, who did a lot of research on Down syndrome. Some notable inventions from Canada include insulin, which I mentioned before, the Canadarm, which is used on space stations to bring satellites in and release satellites, the snowblower, which should not come as any surprise because we have a lot of snow during the winter, sometimes in the fall, usually in the spring as well as lacrosse, basketball, and ice hockey. Canada has two national sports, one of which is lacrosse and the other is ice hockey, which should not come as a surprise. We love our hockey up here. We've also set two Olympic records, one being the most gold medals won in the Winter Olympics and the most gold medals won by a host country in the Olympics, which both happened back in 2010 in Vancouver. And I'm pretty sure that's what people mean when they say a home field advantage. If you're a nature lover, you'll love Canada as well because 31% of the country is forest, and it also has more lakes than any other country in the world combined. Now that's a lot to see. Canada is also one of the most educated countries in the world, as well as the leading manufacturer of maple syrup for the world. About 77% of the world's maple syrup comes from Quebec, Canada. And speaking of Quebec, Montreal is the second largest French-speaking city in the world, behind, you guessed it, Paris. Macaroni and cheese is the most purchased packaged grocery item in Canada, and Canada also happens to be the garter snake capital of the world. So if you like garter snakes and mac and cheese, we're your place. There's also a lot of fun going on over in the West Coast, where every New Year's Day in Vancouver, you can participate in a polar bear dip, which is where you jump into the freezing waters of the English Bay. Vancouver does this every year, so if you ever want to do a polar bear dip, head over to Vancouver and join in the fun. Speaking of British Columbia, over there we have our own version of the Loch Ness Monster called the Ogopogo, which means lake demon. It resides in the Okanagan Lake, and personally I think it's a much better name for a monster than Loch Ness Monster, but that could just be the fact that I'm Canadian. A little bit of bias. If you ever want to visit Canada, I'll let you in on some of the slang terms we use around here. Over in Saskatchewan, they don't call hoodies hoodies, but they call them bunny hugs, which I think is probably one of my favorite words for a hoodie ever. Over in Nova Scotia, you can refer to people as Bluenosers, and contrary to popular belief, although a Bluenoser is a type of ship, it was named after the people of Nova Scotia, not the other way around. Also, if you ever hear the term Hozer, that is another word for a loser, and it comes from back in the day when if you were playing ice hockey and you lost the match, you would have to hose down the ice, therefore you were a hoser. And of course, if you want to fit in really well, throw A at the end of your sentences, and no one will even know the difference. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. In the comments section down below, please wish Canada a happy birthday. It's a wonderful place, and you should really visit it very soon. There's a lot of fun things to do, and everybody's really, really nice. So until next time, guys, I'm Foxtrot, and I hope to see you later.